Welcome back to Halfcourt with your boys, Matt McClure and Logan Dolby. And Dolby, we're going to do a little bit of Twix Pix, the NBA Thursday slate here for you. And, we gave it a little bit of a Halloween taste with the candy Twix Pix, a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of rhyme there for you guys. And we're going to start here, Dolby, with the Miami Heat traveling to Atlanta to face the Hawks. Heat -6.5. Trae Young injured his ankle. Is he might not play tonight for the Atlanta Hawks. But Dolby, we were talking before the show, and I'll tell you what, this Miami Heat team is very legitimate. I think this team is a really solid team, a pretty young core with some good veterans on that squad. Jimmy Butler made his debut on Tuesday, had a really solid game. We talked about Justice Winslow a little bit. They just got a bunch of other different guys. Goran Dragic, Bam Adebayo has looked really good for that Miami Heat team. So who do you like in this game, Dolby? And what are you expecting here from both teams? Especially the Heat. I know how much you liked what you saw from them here early.
Yeah, they've looked like a really good unit. Obviously, very well coached by Eric Spoelstra, your pick for Coach of the Year. They're favored right now by 6.5 points. I love them to win and cover tonight. Jimmy Bucket's back on the court. You got to love to see it. And if you have Bam Adebayo, who is averaging some absurd numbers this season, he's looked really good. He played all 82 last year for the Heat. He's averaging 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists throughout 4 games this season. He had 17 and 10 against the Hawks whenever they last played. I think Adebayo is going to go back to Eaton against Alex Len. Alex Len does not bring anything to the table for me. Like I've stated before, show after show, this guy is a bum. I don't think he can hang down low with Bam. Bam just so much more as an athlete and as a basketball player right now, still getting better at 22 years old. This dude could really be a special talent for Miami. I love them to win. I love them to cover the 7. I'm all in on the Heat tonight.
And something here with the Hawks here, they've looked pretty good, I'd say, through their first few games here this season. But they played very well against the Philadelphia 76ers. And the thing that I think really hurt them was Alex Len taking outside shots in the fourth quarter of that game when the game was on the line and close. And they played the 76ers team tough. They honestly should have won that game. They really should have won it. They got up big there in the first quarter. They scored 40 points there in the first quarter against the 76ers. And then obviously the 76ers came back there in the fourth quarter, a little bit there in the third to really win this game. And, they hit some big shots there late and won the game. But I've been impressed with this Hawks team early on. They're going to be competitors there. Trae Young's been unbelievable, and this is going to be a great game, I think. But, I think if Trae Young's a little bit hobbled out there or if he doesn't play at all, I just like the Heat here to win this game and cover the 6.5. They already beat them 112-97 the last time these two teams played on Tuesday night. So I think the same thing is going to happen here tonight between these two teams.
Yeah, I think you're going to need something special from Vince Carter if you're going to get anything going for the Hawks, especially I assume Trae Young would be out. He's day-to-day now with that hand injury. Came out against the Heat the last time they played a few days ago. So John Collins is going to do what John Collins does. You need more from Cam Reddish, who only had 6 points and 6 assists in 26 minutes for the Atlanta Hawks. You're going to have to get a good performance from a lot of your guys. A lot of your young players are going to have to step up if you're the Hawks, because right now this Miami Heat team, we have them as a treat this year. The Heat look really good so far. I think they're going to contend for a top 5 spot in the East. They just look really good.
Yeah, one more point here on the Miami Heat. They're 2 rookies, Tyler Hero and Kendrick Nunn. I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
People don't know this Kendrick Nunn guy. I'll tell you what. He has been unbelievable for the Miami Heat. I didn't know about him really coming into this season. The dude's averaging 21 points a game, which leads the NBA rookies. Kendrick Nunn. Oh, yeah, and Tyler Hero, 16.3 points a game. He had 29 in that Hawks game. He's fifth among NBA rookies in scoring. So I'll tell you what, man, the Heat are building something special here with Jimmy Butler as their core piece, and they got some good players around them. Watch out for this team moving forward.
Then we have the Spurs at the Clippers. The Clippers favored by 5 points. I'm a big fan of the Clippers winning and covering this game. Kawhi Leonard should be back. He's rested, I would hope, after playing 4 games and taking a game off against the Jazz. I think they'll come out rip roaring. Lou Williams will be back to his designated 6-man role. I think this team is a lot better with Williams coming off the bench. The Spurs, a team that have been playing well lately. They've got a couple wins under their belt at the tune of 3, no losses. I think they lose their first game tonight. They're a solid team. Popovich always has them getting ready to go, but the Spurs, I don't think, have the talent level to compete with the LA Clippers tonight. Their games have been close. I mean, only won by 9 against the Knicks, won by 2 against the Wizards, and then won by 3 against the Blazers. So these have all been really close games. I think if it comes down to that, the Clippers are going to win a close-ish game, probably by 6 points, I'd say. Might pull away there because their bench has a lot more depth there. So any garbage time minutes, or even if it's close, I think the bench will come in clutch for the Clippers. So I have the Clips.
I'm going to say that the Clippers are going to win this game as well at home. You mentioned Kawhi. He better be playing tonight, by the way. He'll hopefully be back, and he's got to be healthy. I mean, he got a day off. He's got to be ready to roll. But I think the Spurs are going to keep this one close. They have played in a lot of tight games here to start the year. They beat a pretty solid Portland Trailblazers team. 113-110, almost blew the lead there. They outscored the Blazers 37-20 in the third quarter. Just absolutely lights out there. And then the Portland Trailblazers started making their way back, outscored them there by 8, and almost won this game. But you know what you're going to get from this San Antonio Spurs team. You know LaMarcus Aldridge is going to do his thing. DeMar DeRozan's going to do what he does. And they're just going to get a lot of different things going from different players. Rudy Gay, Patty Mills, Derek White, Dejounte Murray. A bunch of guys contribute for the Spurs team. I don't think they're gonna win, but I do think they're gonna cover the spread here today or here tonight. But I do think the Clippers are gonna get the job done and win this game against a tough Spurs team at home.
Thing is, that Clippers defense is just gonna be so drowning for the Spurs. They have yet to face a team that has that high of a caliber of defense so far this year. It's really going to be tough, especially whenever you rely on guys like Bryn Forbes or Derek White, who's leading the team in field goal percentage. I think that goes way down tonight. I mean, Pat Beverly is going to be hounding him all night long. DeMar DeRozan is going to struggle with his one-dimensional game. I really think this is going to be a struggle here for the Spurs. We're going to see what these two teams are made of tonight here whenever they match up on the hardwood. And moving on to the Nuggets at the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans get their first win tonight. The Nuggets favored by 4. I think this could be a sneaky game here for the Nuggets, especially if they don't shoot well or if they get in some foul trouble. Yeah, I love the Pelicans on the money line getting their first win. I think the Pelicans have looked bad so far. Their defense isn't exactly the greatest in the league. It's actually one of the worst. They're sitting at the bottom of the Southwest standings. They need a victory really, really badly. Been playing some decent teams here. Lost to the Raptors, the Mavericks, and the Rockets. Kept it close against the Rockets. I think this is a team that we could see get their first victory tonight against the Nuggets.
I disagree. I think the Nuggets are going to win and cover this game. I agree with some of your point there that the Pelicans have looked okay. I was really impressed when I saw opening night. I will say that against the Raptors in a tough environment. But since then, they lost to a bad Warriors team. Yes, I said it. It's a bad Warriors team, people. They lost to a bad Warriors team. They're looking for their first win. It is at home, so hey, I think it's going to be going to be a close game. But I think the Nuggets are going to win on the road, kind of silence the Pelicans. Can you believe that the Pelicans are on NBA TNT for the second straight week in a row? Like, really? The New Orleans Pelicans? I understand Zion is there, but I mean, they don't have any juice. Now, they don't. This team just doesn't give me any juice. It's like watching the Lakers without LeBron. I mean, essentially, that's what it is. I don't understand why they're on national TV the first 2 weeks of the season when you could put the Spurs and Clippers on NBA TNT. It just makes no sense. Hey, I don't know, but I'm going to take the Nuggets in this one. They're going to win and cover. Jokic, Murray, the rest of them, they play great defense, and I think they're battle tested. It's going to be a tough game. I got the Denver winning this one by 8.
Yeah, I just think that Denver might struggle away from home tonight. I think that's what it's going to be. They got a lot of young guns on this New Orleans Pelicans team. To your point, the reason why they'd be playing in this primetime game would be because the schedule makers figured that Zion Williamson would be available for tonight. Instead, he's going to have to sit out. So that it doesn't look great for the Pelicans. He could have been good for their defense, but I think Derek Favors tonight has a big game.
Derek Favors.
I love him. If you're playing a FanDuel, take Derek Favors, even against Jokic. He's a wily veteran. I think he's going to get his guys going tonight. Him and, Lonzo Ball, we haven't seen too much from him so far. I think this guy is bound to have a big day.
Breakout game here for Lonzo Ball.